Folks, welcome back to the lab for another lantern project. Well, here we have, yeah, this is a tall drink of water. This thing's beat up. It's got some issues, but hopefully we'll get through them. Nice. So this is a Defiance Triumph #2 Cold Blast with the match strike and a bullet hole. How about that? I just noticed that bullet hole. Yeah.
I'm gonna switch over probably later on. I'm waiting on Manny.
So it's just an air tube. That's okay. Well, we'll figure out something. And it's missing a bail hook here. So, and I think I have something that I can snag one off of. But I did also just notice that the big, huge gaping hole. Shit, what the hell did they do to this thing, man? Yikes. Let's see if we can get this going, man. And this is a property of City of Rochester. And I know got a local buddy here that loves these City of Rochester Defiance stuff because they're made in Rochester and for the City of Rochester. All right, well, yeah. So, yeah, oh, it needs a cap too. So, we'll figure it out. Looks like it's got, burner and everything, so. Let's dig in. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge, I think. Oh, there's a gap there, but hell, it's been like this for 100 years. Should be all right. All right, let's check it out. All right. Oh, yeah. Come on now. There we go. Whew, man, nice, big, heavy. Big, heavy, fatty. Yep. I smell you, Supervisor Baby. I turned you up a little high. There, all right. What's going on here? Something's not right. Oh, that's supposed to be up. Now down. What has happened here? Okay, it must have just been bent. Okay, good. And it'll lock up. Okay, yeah, so that was just a little bent. I don't want to force it just yet. So I get a little coil in there, let it work. Hinge is a little rusty. But, these Defiance, man, handle the rust pretty darn good. And this is loose. That's awesome. That is awesome. That makes me happy. That's a mess for sure, but. All right. I don't see why we can't use that again. Cool. That is a mess. Should be all right. Okay. The bench grinder with that. Bottom looks all right. Wow. Oh. We have a fountain surprise. Nice. Okay. That thing's paying off already. Awesome. This was burned dry, I could tell, with no kerosene on it. Yeah, it looks immaculate in there. That's great. Oh, that's good to know. Makes me feel better about investing a little crafting time There we go. Thank you, Croyle. Defiance have the coolest globe plates, by the way. These are neat. They got a couple interesting. They got a couple designs that are just sweet, unmistakable. I'm looking, I'm sampling to see what's going on here. We got to find it a cap. We got some holes to patch. A couple questionable spots here, but like I said, the inside of the tank looks great, so we don't have to worry about anything happening from the inside. First, I want to make sure I can get the part off a donor for that right there. And here we have a donor. This is, as you can see here, very similar, man. Very similar. Because, yeah, Defiance and Embry. Embry bought up Defiance. So, yeah, look at how similar they are. So, I'm thinking I got a match there. Is that a different size? That looks a little smaller. But, hey, that's it's really our only choice for a donor. So, oh, shit. Oh, no, they're different. Crap. Wow, look at that. So these go all the way through and under there. Oh, shit balls. Okay, well. I gotta go check the junk bin. I don't think I got another one. Might have a junk Defiance laying around somewhere. Let's hold on a minute. Man, I do not have a donor for that. Do not have a donor. But I want to see if we can get this out regardless. Maybe we can modify it. Wonder how that's in there. That looks machined too. But luckily I can wreck this thing because, yeah. I should just harvest this off of here and trash this thing. This thing's been lingering. Yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe we're going to turn this into a parts harvesting video. Man, I had tried getting this thing out for a super long time. I think it's going to rip the top of the fountain out. Might as well just freaking do it. Then I can get the burner out. Come on now. Yeah. I guess this is probably going to start a... Oh, wow. Somebody tried getting it. Oh, yeah, that was probably me. I wouldn't do that, though. I would not wreck that like that. Holy smokes. Okay, well... No saving this burner now. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, there's no saving that or that. Still going to put it in parts bin, though. You never know. Maybe I'll get to a point where I know where I can use parts off this, you know, like the cog wheel or something. Good Lord, what a mess. All right, yeah, no, let's get this crown off of here. Yeah, this video just kind of changed direction here a bit. Oh, wow. All right, yeah, this will be just fine. It'll go in the parts bin. Now, I wonder if I can get, and put that in a vise under. If I can put this in a vise and just pound these. You see what I'm looking at here. Oh, I do apologize. I had you all widened out because this was such a large lantern. So these posts go through the air tube and out the back and up into here, and then they're kind of angled up. Man, this thing built tough. Freaking Embry's, man, so tough. So tough. Wouldn't give up that freaking burner or anything. Well, let's see here. Oh, that did the trick. All right. Yeah, I hit it and it started coming out. But I want to grab it out of there, but I don't want to put tool marks in it. You know me. It's coming. It is in there, man. There was no mistaking them things coming loose. Holy moly. All right, it's out. We're done with this. We don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. Well, obviously, we're going to have to modify this, cut it off, but... Okay, let me... I'll put it in my little vise over here to the left and hack it with a hacksaw. There we go, look at that. I think this one's a little longer than this one, but I don't think anybody will notice. All right, cool. Ugh, look at that mess. All right, so next thing to do is to get the paint off this and get the rust off this, and then we'll play with that, and then we'll oh boy, that's in a bad spot because that's got serious metal shaping. I wonder if I'll be able to do it. I'll play with it. I bet you I can close that up a lot, considering I can get in the back of one side and kind of do it a little bit. All right. So I think what I'll do now is first I'll do the first step, get the rust off this thing, and you know what? All right, 'cause I'm feeling better now that we got this off of there. I'm gonna have to put a bend in that right about there. I should have done that before I hacked it off, bent it a little bit, but I think I can do it. Put it in the bigger vise. Okay. Yeah, I'll put like a hook on it even. Yeah, I'll hook it. Hook it! All right, so I'm going to go to the bench grinder here and clean this baby up so we can start doing these other repairs and having some fun. Got to find a cap for it. I know I got a burner, and we got a couple of wicks. Great. Good stuff. This will clean up. Okay, cool. So I'll do that and I'll be back. And we did a little parts harvesting. That was fun. All right. Yeah, like I said, man, look at this Defiant steel. This is going to clean up really nice. And once we protect it and throw some oil on it, it's going to turn almost black. It's going to be great. As opposed to sandblasting, which just destroys, well, don't get me started on that. Saw something today. Freaked me out. Sandblasting sucks for lanterns. All right, so we'll start with a junk bit as usual. This is left over from polishing up a beauty. All right, so yeah, like I said, Defiant steel. This is gonna look great, but it's gonna take some work, man. That took some work on the grinder for sure. And I see some kind of insect carcass dangling from some kind of web inside the fount. And look at that in there, man. Yeah, look at that. Man, this thing was probably hardly used, judging by the rust and shit, or lack of, on the inside here. Pretty neat. Oh, you know what I was thinking? So, before I don't know what I do with it. So, I want to look and see. You know what? We might be all right, man. Maybe I'll hack out this hunk here. And maybe I'll try to see if I can make a little patch, you know, because this is all bent the same, you know. Be weird trying to figure out how to cut it out after we hack off. There's an idea. I was thinking, you know, I got some nice brass and stuff, but the thing is, it's got to be... Yeah, don't mind him. Where you going? Come on, go. Get out of here. He thinks I have food for him. That's the problem. All right, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to try that. We'll hack off this little hunk here and then try to figure out how I'm going to split it. I'll be able to tell on the inside. If these are just two seams, you know, pinched together, I'll be able to unpinch them. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do that. Okay. I had that thing over by the garbage ready to go out with recycling. So, here we go. Junk bit. We'll play around a bit. Okay. I did some junk bit stuff. Now, my brain wants to kind of play a little bit here. Let me see if I can bend some of this hole back. There we go. There we go. Now that helped a lot. So that might change our options a little bit. Okay, well, I don't think it really changed their options. I don't think. Still got to patch them. But you could definitely see. So this is where it exited, obviously, because all this metal was kind of spread out on there and it was in here. Yeah, landing with a bullet hole. I kind of want to, you know what I want to do? I want to go hack off because it's freaking fun, man. I'm going to go hack off a hunk of that air tube off the junker. If I can find where I put it. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Give me a second. Okay, let me see if I can do this without hacking into my bungee cord there. Let's see, what do we need to have that? Okay, right there. Well, I don't need to worry about anything else. I can just go ahead and tear that off. Just like that. Alright, well I wonder if I can get pin snips in here and just cut out our spots. Look at that! Nice. That's gonna work out great. I think. Okay. Yeah, I just gotta pound them back into shape because they are a little chewed up from me cutting at them with awful pin snips. Okay, I think we're on to something here. Awesome. Yeah, I find tin snips, if I find them super cheap, you know, like a buck at flea markets and stuff, I grab them, you know, just so, you know, for $1, you know, I'm not worried about them ending up being dull because they're just a freaking dollar, you know what I mean? All right. Now, let's see. What a fun project this is. I like this problem solving kind of crap. Harvested some parts, cut some shit up. That's fun, man. Destroy some stuff. I brought these holes in a little bit. I closed them up a little bit, but I'm still going to need to figure out to fill that hole. I don't think I can fill that with solder. I wonder if I got something I could put in there, like some copper mesh or something. Fill the hole so solder will glob up on there. Oh, I can actually have a little bit more I can bend out on that. All right. Well, it is late. I haven't had my dinner yet, and it's 10 minutes to 11. Whoops. I have too much fun in the lab. Yeah, that's going to be all right, man. I think we got both our big issues kind of figured out a little bit. That's going to be great. Cool. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to do some smoothing, figure out. Awesome. Clamp them on there. Throw some solder underneath. Easy peasy, right? Yeah, we'll see. Okay, we'll work on that. But I think we have a solution to our problem so far. And while I'm at it here, might as well take a look for a filler cap. Yeah, how about that? And that's going to match too. The patina and the pitting matches. Excellent, man. Wow. Nice. Embry. It's an embry. And it's correct. That's great. All right. Okay, folks. Well, that's going to do it for me. Well, actually, I kind of want to play a little more. I want to play a little more with the, now that I put this wheel on there. Let me just do this. I can't help myself. All right, let me do a little more playing before I go. Hold on a minute. Right. Yeah, now it's late. And this is fun, though. This is fun. I will have to continue this tomorrow evening. Shaping up, man. Shaping up. Look at the bottom. The inside and the bottom look just like that, man. Just pristine. And so in here, too, in the burner cup, pristine. I don't know if this thing was really very used. Tell you the truth. I bet you they went through a wick and a half. That was about it on this thing. Let's see how much they used. Yeah, barely any. Actually, these come in 7 inches, so this is... So both these were used just a little. I bet you these are the only ones ever using this thing. Pretty neat. All right, so to sum up, we'll have this part to deal with. Nice, got hooks on it. Cool, that won't come out. We just got to figure out the best way to anchor that. And we got our little angle pieces. Look at that. Patina matches and everything. I just got to make sure I get the surfaces flat because they are a little funky because of that. What's going on there? We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm going to clamp them on there and solder them. Cool. All right, folks. That is going to do it for me here for this evening. And we'll turn off Supervisor Baby. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to come up just like... All right, we are back. It is the next day. And Supervisor Baby is taking spring break. And this is Goldie. Goldie is taking his place for a while. So Goldie is a project. She was sitting right there. She was sitting right there, and she was a mess. And I've had her for over a year, and now she's all cleaned up and burning beautifully. It had quickly become a favorite of my collection. Great little tiny hot blast. Dietz tubular. Yeah, Dietz brass tubular. Awesome. Okay, so let's see, where were we here? Yeah, it's only been a day, but like a lot has happened today. I gotta remember where we're at. All right, let me let's get in position here and see what we're doing. Okay, well I think maybe a little more wire wheel, but I think I need a fresh one. These are all shot, so I think I'll get a new. There we go. Might as well bring out another one of them. Another one of these. Just to get them out. All right. So we'll do a little wire wheel action. And then I think we're going to look into... well, then I'll go pointy bit because there is some corners and stuff I want to get at. And then we're going to look at doing our repairs here and see what's up. I think this is going to be a fine piece. Yes, I do. Even with our little patch, I think it's going to give it character. I just got to make sure I can get all the solder to stick all nice and tight like. Okay, here we go. Wire wheel. Okay, so I'm going to start getting set up to figure out what we're going to do for this bail hook here. So let's see, we'll use the guide wires. All right, so let me put on my, yeah, so I have the shortwave going, and there's major storms everywhere. It's raining like crazy here, but storms everywhere. All that crunching you're hearing, the static crashes from lightning strikes. Okay, so let's take a look at what we want here. Okay, right, like that. I think I'm going to secure it with some wire here. Hold it in place while we toil with whatever method I end up with. Technically, you know what? I have seen some old field repair of an embry that actually had wire like this, very nicely like wound around this, and it was secure as hell. I mean, I did repair it with solder, but the field repair was amazing. So it was like nice copper wire, beautifully wrapped around. I should have kept it on there, but I didn't. I should have. Just because there's some of these field repairs that I think are so cool, I like to leave them on. Okay, so it's not super tight, but so here's what I'm thinking. I got this crap. This is to aid in solder removal, but I'm gonna see, maybe I can pack a little bit in that hole. It'll give me something for solder to adhere to. I've tried this once before, but it was a long time ago. So let's see. I guess if I'm this close, I can use double up on my glasses. Oh yeah, that's what we want right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave a little tail on it in case I push it through. You can see what I'm thinking about doing. That just might work. That just might work. I wonder if I should do it with a soldering iron. Well, I got it right here. Might as well. Let me plug it in, get it warming up. I'll try this and the torch. I'm thinking maybe like a little bit slower with the soldering iron, but it'll give me more control. You know what I mean? Okay, so we'll turn that on. Okay, Goldie will keep an eye on that while it warms up. Okay, so let's throw some flux all over. Let's do some fluxing around here. It'd be great if I can get it to just kind of get right down into the fiber of that copper and hold on. That's what I'm hoping for. You can see the tinning flux do a little bit of tinning to that copper there. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, get down in that crack. There we go.
Most of the time, I got the trailer hitch still on the truck too. So if somebody walks behind the truck and tries to squeeze through, they bust their shin or their knee on the trailer hitch. I'm surprised they don't get a busted out window when somebody gets mad.
It's working.
No, I think we golfed on that guy into one of those things. Boy, they hurt. No kidding. All right, well.
There we go. I can watch it sinking down in there and doing just what we want it to do. I think we've achieved what we want here. See if I can plop a little more right on top here. Let it warm up. Fall down in the cracks there. Okay, I think we have achieved what we wanted there. And I'll keep this soldering. Well, I'm gonna turn it off. By the time we get around to our other solder job, oh yeah, I ain't going no wires. Kind of really don't like that blob on top of there, but hey, it's gonna have a bail hanging on it. It'll be all right. No, I'm not gonna be all right. It's bugging me. I'm gonna get rid of it and let this warm back up. Okay, so now I gotta think about I'll just tin the inside of these, and then we'll try sticking them on there. Hammer them on a little bit. We got some work to do on the smoothness of the tubes, but okay. So what I want to do is get that blob off of there. Once it heats up, okay, that's what I wanted right there. All right, so now it'll cool down, then we'll hit it with the Dremel and such. Excellent. Excellent donor. Excellent donor part. Now, okay, so let me reposition for our other thing here. All right, so let's see. Rocks a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so I mark where I need to clean up the metal so it'll hold some solder. Okay. Now I got to get a nasty bit. Oh man, cords. Okay. Well, this is meant for wood, but I have found it to be works really well on tin if you need to kind of prep it a little bit. So we'll do a little bit with this. All right. That's looking cool. All right. Now, I'm gonna put some, this is what's been working for me, so we'll stick with that. So this is tinning flux. It's helped me a lot. So I'm going to tin these, then I'll throw some solder on these spots, and then I'll put them together and heat it up from on top. You'll see what I mean. It's kind of like toasting a sandwich. Yeah, I'm hungry. What do you want? Ooh, burning flesh. Wow. Okay. Some blobs and some blobs. Look at these blobs. Ow, man. Torched my thumb. But hey, I did that for 35 years. Torching my thumb. Okay, so get us a, can I get this clamp on there? That's the question. Can I get it on there without hurting it? Because it's a really clampy clamp. Okay, now it's on there. Now let's see. That's right about where it was, where it looked all flush. Okay, so now I'm going to heat this up, and that should all drop into place. All right, well, I throw the acetone on there. Looks good to me. Ooh, flux everywhere. That looks good, man. Awesome. Okay, we'll come over to this side. Now I gotta make sure that this acetone dries up before I take the torch to it, because I learned my lesson a number of times, but no, actually no, I'm not learning my lesson. That's the thing. Just last week I kind of blew myself up. Yeah, oh well. Okay, now where are you in the frame? I can't even see what I'm doing here. That's better. Okay. Now, oh, did you hear that? Yeah, it just exploded a little bit. Woo! See, I don't see. I've been out of the business a couple of years, man, and I don't have Teflon hands anymore. I used to be able to grab stuff off of broilers, and yeah, things have changed. All right, where's our lines? There's a line. Well, okay. Let's see. Let me get rid of some of this mess, and I'll review what just happened here. Give me a second. Right. Well, that's acceptable. That is acceptable. There's little tiny gaps, but that's all right. I want it to be flush, but, you know, these were not two exact lanterns. They were close, but not exact. Yeah, I like it. I like it, man. Gives it some character. It's got plenty of character. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Now, I can kind of clean up at least this here. All right, now I'm gonna go to an 800 grit. Actually, I'm gonna go 400 here. I'll go to 800. The texture's just a little different here. I just kind of want to bring it up to everything else here. Okay, so 400 grit for the tank, and then I'll go to 800 grit and do the rest. Maybe I might end up using that on more of it. Here, let's see. So it's got a little bit. It's got a little bit of flux all over the place. Some spots here, and I don't want that to get. So there's flux mixed with acetone. So we're just gonna do it with just acetone, and we're wiping it off because if you try to like get rid of something with like a brush with acetone, the drips that come down, they'll immediately dry up, and there'll be a big dried drip. So that's why I'm wiping off the excess of acetone rather than using the brush. So an acetone and flux, man, it likes to travel. It likes to travel down seams and everything. It'll travel from top to bottom. So I'm just trying to make sure I get it all because Flux's business is to etch the steel so shit sticks, man. So that's gonna rust your stuff. You don't want that trapped underneath your treatment. But that would be counterproductive. Wouldn't it? There's a whole bunch right there. Yeah. All right, now I think we can do some steel wool and take it from there. Things are looking good, man. I'm loving this. I'm loving being able to like find parts and do things and try new things, and that's what we're doing here. All right. Let's hit it with some steel wool. Right. Well, I forgot, since we had to replace the bail hook, this needs a bail. I think there are plenty in here for this. Oh, that's embery. I don't know if I want that on the top. Let's see. I don't think that works. I think that's to an air pilot. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that'll work. We just gotta clean it up, that's all. Come on now. Oh man, I knew it. I was just like, you know what? These are all perfectly kind of right there to hang back. Okay, good, we're good. We're good. This is one of those like, you know, like your favorite card game is 52 card pickup, you know? These things. This is like trying to deal with a whole bunch of. You ever see that? You ever got that game when you were a kid called Barrel of Monkeys, and there's all the little hooks and stuff? The claws of the monkeys were hooks, and you got. I just got a flashback. All right. Okay, let me run over the bench grinder real quick. Clean this up. Okay. Good. Let me go to the bench grinder and be right back. All right. Let's oil it up. Yeah. All right. Man, I am really loving how goldy here, and it's burning along. I had to do a second seal on the tank because it's got a replacement bottom on top of a rusty bottom. So there's a gap. There's a gap in between the newer and the original bottom. The replacement is very old. It's got to be many, many decades old. That's why I didn't want to remove it to work on it. Okay, now, where are we here?
Yeah, I think if I were you, I'd be hiring a different snowplow guy for next winter.
Okay, here we go. Just wait till you see how dark this patina is. Look, it's going to be, oh yeah, that's so nice. It's what I love about this Defiance 10. Look at that. Woohoo! Look at that. Look at all that beautiful dark patina with a great, perfect freaking match. That's awesome. I love how this project has worked out, considering what we started with. Not too bad. Not too bad. If I had tried to like bend a piece of tin or something, or a piece of brass to do that, I wouldn't be able to do that. Not yet, anyway. Cool. All right. Now we have this lantern gave us a couple of wicks. I'll put one of them back in here. Awesome. Click. Beautiful. And we got a new bell throw on here. Yeah, you gotta go off camera with this because of how tall it is. All right, hold on a second here. Awesome. Okay. Now, there's the beauty that came in it. And I'll go right back in. Nice. Okay. That's great. Man, that globe's massive in there. It feels a little tall to me. I don't know. Usually I'm used to that being flush. This could be a huge fatty, but it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful in there. No, it'll stay in there. And I got oily fingerprints all over it. You know how I am. Tool marks and fingerprints bug me. It's decades of trying to keep a nice, clean chef's kitchen, you know, spotless stainless steel and no crap anywhere. It's just something that's in my brain. I can't help it. Can't go home till the kitchen's clean. There we go. All right. Very nice. Let's come on down, take a look at what we did here. Yeah. Tall drink of water here, man. Boy, that looks nice. That looks so much better. That's great. Very nice. Oops. There we go. All right, there it is. We did it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Fail test. That's working. There is, you probably couldn't tell. Yeah, that's the normal one. And there's our repair. Still got a little bit of that kicking out there. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody's going to care. But that is solid as a rock. Awesome. And I wanted to, you know, so some of these, you know, Embry have this little nipple here that kind of comes out a little bit. And I didn't want one with a nipple on it because the hooks, one hook's a little bit smaller than the other. And they could still be level, though. Maybe they are. But I didn't want, you know, if somebody wanted to hang it, I didn't want it hanging awkward. So I tried to get one without that little nipple on there. Okay. All right, we're done. We're done with this beautiful, big old Defiance #2. Folks, that's going to do it for me and Goldie and Supervisor Baby. Thank you so much for stopping by the lab. And until next time, don't you go changing.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.